Welcome to Life Happens, where Texans come to protect their legacy and prepare for the second half of life. Join your host, attorney Kim Hegwood of Your Legacy Legal Care, and our weekly guest as we navigate the challenges that emerge as life happens. Now here's your host, Kim Hegwood.
Good morning and welcome to Life Happens with me, Kim Hegwood, and our very special guest today is Kathy Shoaf, right? Did I say that right, Kathy? Okay,
Kathy Shoaf Spear.
perfect. And you're with Elite Cruises and Vacation Travel. And so that might sound like a different type of podcast that we're going to do today, but this one's really on topic. We're going to be talking about dementia-friendly cruises and should you take one, right? And so today, I guess we should probably start off and tell our listeners what exactly a dementia-friendly cruise is.
Well, I am Kathy, and I'm a registered nurse. I'm a geriatric neurology nurse. So as my life has progressed through senior living, assisted living, home health care, executive, I just wanted to create an opportunity so that people, no matter what the diagnosis, still had the privilege to enjoy life with their families. So we create travel opportunities in groups, and we are staffed at a ratio of one professional to every 3 travelers. We create opportunities for families to make amazing lifelong memories and genuinely see their loved ones having fun. Just experience joy.
And so, well, I'm a huge fan of that. I tell clients all the time, the goal is always to, have the best life possible and the best quality of life. So that's really amazing. And so, but my listeners are going to be asking the $1 million question: is it safe for someone with dementia to go on a cruise?
Well, like I said, we are staffed with professionals, other nurses, physical therapists, occupational therapists, dementia trained activity specialists. And we create programming so that we aren't just putting 40 people on a cruise ship and telling them to take off and have a good time. Now, we don't monopolize their life. If the family wishes to take mom to breakfast independently, obviously that's possible. But we will create opportunities so that we can be with them, so that the family can have a little bit of room to breathe. But their loved one that has a cognitive or physical or mobility challenge is going to have the support that they need. Let's find the bathroom together. Let's go and work on some activities over here in our enclosed conference space where we might be able to do some music therapy or art therapy. So we provide opportunities so that both the caregiver and their loved ones can just relax. But at the same time, we've got our eye on them at all times. All times.
So the cruises work with you to allow you to do this type of planning?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
amazing. And
Yes.
uh and so I heard you talk that if the family wanted to, take, mom to breakfast or something. So do y'all encourage the family to go or not go or don't care? Or how does that work as far as, if the family wants to travel with the loved one?
Well, we insist that the loved one come with one primary caregiver. But many times we have an extended family that wants to travel with them. And so we obviously charge support fees for our services, but the additional family members travel with us in our group at my reduced contractual rates with the cruise lines. So yes, we want the family to come. We will provide them with opportunities to dine together. We have group dinner seating. We have educational forums for the caregivers so that they can have the chance to hold on to some information that will honestly help them when they leave this experience. But we're giving them the chance to travel with their loved ones and just experience fun at a very reduced rate for the extended family members. Yes.
Well, that's awesome because I think a lot of family members would love to go take their loved one on a vacation, or better yet, go on a vacation, not worry about their loved one, be able to bring them, and then be able to have some fun knowing that they're taken care of.
Yeah.
And so that's amazing. And so, but is it, I've always been told, that you try to not to confuse, someone with dementia about changing, where they're at, things like that. So is it more confusing to take someone on a cruise that has dementia?
Well, that's the reason that I sincerely focus on cruises, because they sleep in the same place. They eat in the same place. Our conference space is the exact same room for the entire duration. So we try to keep as many things consistent as possible. And then the rate of which the rest of this moves is kind of driven by each individual person's ability. Maybe they don't go to 4 music venues after dinner. Maybe they just sit down and relax and listen to the dueling pianos. Or maybe they're incredibly active and they want to go dance to the rock and roll band. But we try to focus on what's interesting to them and then keep them centered on what's comfortable for each individual client.
Sounds like you've been on a few cruises. And I noticed you knew where all the entertainment was.
We've done this 52 times.
Oh, wow.
We have taken 52 dementia-friendly groups. And I learn something new every time. There is never a moment that I don't learn something that I did not know before.
And I think that's
It's always something new that happens.
I think that with any new experience, because you have a different dynamic with each group is, is a little different, so I think that would be a whole lot more fun. And so Kathy, what other health challenges do y'all support on the cruise?
We significantly support any kind of mobility challenge, along with cognitive issues. We've also had clients with heart issues, COPD, CHF, but a lot of neurological diagnoses, Parkinson's, almost any kind of a neurological challenge that exists, we have worked with, in addition to cardiac and respiratory issues.
But there's doctors on the ships, right?
Yes, there's a physician on every ship, which is my backup, period. And every single client travels with insurance. They have insurance to cover the cost of their cruise, but they also have medical insurance to handle issues on the ship or off the ship. And we've been very blessed never to have a huge issue, but we've had a lot of people downstairs for a UTI. And, we used to just get on and go introduce ourselves. We're back.
Yeah.
But we've been very, very blessed. I have not had a client even need to go down there in quite some time. So very, very blessed.
So is it important for family members to have all their medical records or something from the doctor or something that gives you information? Or how do you go about knowing what that particular client needs as they're scheduling, the cruise, so that way how to accommodate them?
We send out a questionnaire and we work with each of the primary caregivers to get specific health issues, incontinence issues, behavioral challenges, dietary preferences, dietary allergies, in addition to questions that relate to activities and interest levels. It's really important that I know what their favorite song is, what their favorite kind of music was, who their favorite artist was. But I also want to know what their favorite college basketball team is and who they rooted for in the World Series, because we work diligently to connect with them in an honest, true, genuine way. I am a dyed-in-the-world Boilermaker, and all of the other Big Ten people that we travel with, bring your Big Ten stuff. I'm wearing my Purdue shirt. And we just have a really fun time. It cuts down the barriers. It takes away some of the resistance or the fear because, there's that crazy Purdue person. It's fun. It's happy. And if I have a behavioral challenge, playing their favorite song or a song from their artist can sometimes get things to just completely change. So I can frequently get things done that I need to have happen by just flipping on my phone to the latest music from the Bee Gees, and all of a sudden they're up, looking around, and doing what I asked them to do. So
I can see that. And so there's some, you're wandering around the house and some music comes on and you think, oh, that's cool. I remember that, as a kid. So I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
And but you also take care of caregivers, so it's my understanding you have cruises for former caregivers. And can you talk to us a little bit about those?
Well, from my own personal heart and life that I have lived through, once this caregiving gig is over, you somehow have forgotten who you are as a person when you're the primary caregiver. It has occupied your time, your thoughts, your attention, your being for the duration of how long this has been happening. And so what we do with the former caregivers, we honestly just try to give people permission to still live. Let's figure out what works in your world. What's the purpose that you get to have for getting to be here? And I believe everybody has a God-given purpose. And so we frequently forget how to take care of ourselves. We forget how to have any concept of doing something that would be enjoyable for ourselves. And so what we do a lot of programming with meditation, with exercise, with activities, with focusing on not only just joy, but figuring out what is good, what is good for Kathy, which there's no time to have that conversation when you're the primary caregiver. So it's a wonderful program, and we've had the opportunity to work with many, many people that have just very grateful when we walk away from a happy experience.
I remember after my grandparents passed away, I was sitting in the recliner, and I'll tell this story periodically. I was sitting in the recliner, and all of a sudden I was like, I have nothing to do. And it had been so long since I didn't have anything to do. And I was like, woohoo, I have nothing to do. And then I realized, oh, I was happy about having nothing to do. And then I started to cry, and cried a lot. And so, so it takes a while to get past the, it's okay for me to be happy. It's okay for me to do things, so I tell a lot of clients, you have to keep doing things. I'm like, because when you meet up with them again, you want to have lots of things to talk about. And so definitely. So, all right. So Kathy, this sounds fantastic. So if somebody wants to take a cruise, how do they get to you?
I take personal calls on that cell number that's on the screen and do my best to answer all questions transparently. There is always questions. Everybody's family's questions are different. We individually problem solve with each family, and we create opportunities custom to each family. And I mean that by saying that we give them opportunities to travel with additional 24/7 private support, if that's what would be helpful to a particular family. We will provide them with a caregiver. They can bring their own caregiver. We will provide service at whatever level is appropriate. And so I really love to talk with them. But our website is listed there, elitecruisesandvacationstravel.com. All of the professional support and the information is there. A lot of detailed ideas about who my staff is, who I have working with us, why I do this. And, I'm asked almost weekly, why do you do that? It's so much trouble. Well, I do it because it truly matters to these families that get to experience happiness and joy. So we're happy to let them, tear apart the website, read everything, send me an email. But I would love the privilege to talk with them and just explain what we do and answer each individual family's questions. We also provide accompanied flights. I mean, there's almost no kind of support that we can't provide. I've had hospital beds and Hoyer lifts on cruise ships.
Wow.
That's not the norm, but can we do it? Yeah. If that's what the family wants to do, and we've had many private duty caregivers on a cruise, one-on-one caregiver for a particular family. It doesn't mean that all the other programming doesn't come in too, because it does. But, if bathing, dressing, those kind of things, the caregivers normally take care of, but we can make those arrangements if that's what the family wants.
So is your cell phone number the 219-608-2002?
It is.
And then you have a 800 number, right?
I do. 888-826-6836.
And so, and your email address is still Kathy@elitecruisesandvacationstravel.com?
Yes.
Perfect. And so thanks, Kathy, so much. I'm super excited that hopefully one or more or lots of our families will reach out to you to take that cruise and let their loved one enjoy something so fabulous.
So I so appreciate this opportunity, Kim. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Life Happens with Kim Hegwood. Be sure to tune in every Thursday at 10 a.m. wherever you listen to your podcast as we navigate through the challenges that emerge as life happens. The content of this podcast does not establish an attorney-client relationship or constitute attorney-client privilege, legal, medical, financial, or any other professional advice.